Hey, how's it going, listeners? Welcome to the second episode for the week, I guess. Second, two, one, two. Is this the second?
Number two. This is number two.
Number two. I don't wanna complain a lot or whine.
That's good.
Yeah, I do want to let people know that I just injured myself right before we hit record. But
I didn't even notice.
Yeah, thanks. Even though I said ouch.
I don't really listen to what you say usually.
Yeah.
So
Good thing we're doing a podcast together. I think, and I don't want to take control of the topics. And I think last episode I did that. So Russ, I need to know, what is on your mind?
Oh goodness, where do I even start?
Whoops, that was I'm not a psychiatrist.
Let me tell you. Let's go back to my childhood.
Is it because of your mom?
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
A rabid Detroit Lions fan.
Good. All right.
I didn't actually mean to bring up sports. So I was reading a news article today.
Prove it.
I cannot. You caught me. Okay. I'm not that smart. No, I was reading a news article today, and I was talking about a polar bear.
Where do you... Okay, continue.
Don't worry about it. I get Polar Bear Monthly. Subscribe to an online newsletter. What I found interesting about this news story...
Okay.
And it struck me about other stories I've read that I've never really noticed until this one came along. Why does the media, I'll just use the blanket term, why does the media feel the need to put the Latin name of an animal after it mentions the animal? So, this polar bear, they have, what's the point? I don't know what the Latin name is or means, or
it means polar bear.
Or
maybe the white bear.
I understand that, right? But nobody's gonna know. Like, are there people reading this going, a polar bear? Oh, Ursus maritimus, of course. Why didn't they just say that? No, it's not. There's not the other way, right? I'm not a biologist. The Latin name means absolutely nothing to me. The only thing I can come up with is that by adding it in, they're kind of doing this power play. Like, I know a thing or two.
I looked it up. Hey Google, what's the Latin name for polar bear? That's all they really did.
But why include it? That adds nothing to the story.
Well, I think it kind of depends on the source that you were reading from. Because if it was more of a scientific...
Do you think I would be reading from a scientific journal?
Dude, I was just trying to throw you something right there, but it's okay.
I'm not going to lie to our listeners. They're too smart for that.
I was just trying to make you sound better.
I appreciate that, by the way. But it's
okay. Well, then,
I'm not reading some.
Yeah, if it's like from the New York Times or something,
scientific journal.
Yeah, if it's from like the New York Times or something, it's like, yeah, why
add in the Latin name? Latin, for one thing, Latin's it's a dead language.
Whoa.
I'm just.
Well, maybe they're trying to bring it back, dude.
That's why has nobody started this movement of bring back Latin?
Yeah, hashtag Latin too.
The NFL does it with the Super Bowls and well, that's Roman numerals. Shoot.
Oh yeah,
I guess would that be the same? That would be the same.
I don't know.
Are Roman numerals Latin?
No, they're Romans.
Can anybody?
They're Roman.
But
numerals.
The Latin would have been from.
That's true.
Rome.
Yeah. Well, yeah, pretty close.
Rome, the Vatican. Sure. They still have Latin masses.
Oh yeah.
Why people go to that, I don't know. You can't understand a word of it.
Yeah. You need a Google Translate for that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, maybe that's what they do. People bring their phones along and
they just sit there. This priest has no idea what he's talking about.
Before they had Google Translate, they just actually had somebody sit next to them and whisper in their ear the English.
Yeah. Or whatever language they spoke. You can't assume that they all spoke English.
I'm fairly certain everybody speaks English.
Oh, yeah.
Across the world.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
it's the language of business.
It's the language of love.
But I think Latin, Ursus maritimus, what is that?
What?
Why? That's what the polar bear means in Latin.
Okay.
So I learned. I don't even know if it's right. It could be wrong. It could be just be somebody's like, these words sound Latin-y. Let's put them in there.
They're like, don't look it up. Don't look it up.
But I really realize, Latin is really bougie.
Oh, bougie.
And I feel like that's probably why it's dead. It was murdered because it's just really an annoying language.
Yeah. Kind of like, what's his name outside his condo? Who was that?
I'm
Gucci?
Curious. Gucci? What?
Gucci? There was like a...
The Pope? Is that who Gucci was?
Yeah. No. The guy...
Gucci,
yeah,
16th?
Armani.
Armani Gucci. Yes,
yeah, no.
The
I'm
16th.
trying to... Yeah.
I remember that Pope.
There was a famous fashion designer that was murdered outside of his condo in like Miami, and I think it was like Gucci or Armani or somebody like that.
Versace?
Maybe Versace. We're just naming off.
I don't even know if that's a word. I think that's actually. I actually think that's the Latin word for jaguar.
Well, whatever. Anyways, I don't know where I was going with it.
Versace felinus. Actually, I think
because we murdered. Somebody murdered.
Yeah, I think,
Latin.
Yeah, probably killed it during the French Revolution.
Probably
guillotine, too bougie.
Yeah.
Rightfully so.
Viva la revolution!
They obviously didn't do a good enough job because
it's Viva Revolutionina. Kill the Latin.
Yeah,
that's precisely how it went in history.
I think so. Yeah, I think that was actually verbatim.
That's what Napoleon yelled out when he went to war.
Yes.
Kill the Latin.
Kill the Latin. So yeah, I don't know why they added that in there. It just seems like a bit braggy, if you ask me. Why? Like, who's getting anything out of the Latin name? Who's looking at like tiger or panda bear and saying, what's the Latin name for them?
I think it's people that are just curious.
It's nobody.
Yeah, no, it's people that are curious.
People aren't curious.
Well, people used to be curious.
Not even the curious people were like, I wonder what the Latin name is.
Oh, whatever.
You cannot tell me.
Oh, I think there are. I think people were curious. And they're like, you know what? Let me try to expand my vocabulary. And
who said that? Name a person who has said that.
Oh, I didn't say. I never said I knew a person.
Then it doesn't exist.
Touché. That's French.
Oh, yes, that's not Latin.
Okay. Well, you know what? I don't know. I think people didn't want to learn Latin anymore. So they're like, let's just do our language. I can understand
why. It seems very complicated.
Actually, I think Latin's akin to like Italian or Spanish from Spain. I think it's pretty close to that.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. But I'm not entirely sure. Of course, my mom...
Mamma mia. That's the Italian. That's Oi.
Yeah. Oi. Verbatim.
As we all know, that sounds very close to a lot of the Latin I've heard.
Yeah. Arrivederci. But my mom, when I was growing up, she always told me, learn Latin. It's a dead language. And I always thought to myself, why? Who am I going to communicate with?
That's a great point. Yeah.
No one speaks it. And then come to find out, a lot of professional jobs actually use Latin.
What professional jobs?
The medical field.
That's made up.
Lawyers.
Dad, lawyers are the ones who like to make themselves feel smart. So they're like, yeah, we're going to introduce some Latin in there, just so we come off pretty good. Yeah, but scientists, they're the ones who made up this nonsense.
Semper Fidelis, some of the military.
Oh, okay. Well, then I respect the military.
Oh, yes. Let's learn Latin.
The SEALs, of course.
Yeah, let's learn Latin. Military uses it. We all need to be.
That's right. We all mandate it. Yes. Everybody should be learning Latin.
If you don't learn Latin, you don't support the military.
In fact, everybody entering this country from this point on should learn Latin. That should be part of the citizenship test. How much Latin do you know? What does polar bear mean in Latin?
all of us, quote, citizens of the United States are out. Because no one knows what polar bear means in Latin.
Thank you. And nobody knows what anything else means in Latin either. Not even the scientists. The problem with the scientists, they can make up whatever they want, and we'd be like, oh, no, he's probably right.
Yeah. Oh,
the doctors, too. I have what? Yes, sorry.
To break it down for you, simpleton, cancer. Oh. Why didn't you just lead with that?
Yes. Everything a doctor... How would you even know? You can't even read a doctor's handwriting to begin with unless
That's
you're
true.
a pharmacist. Hey!
But pharmacists have the decoding ring. You hand them the script, and they're like, oh, yes. You're like, wait, hold on. You read that? Oh, yeah, it says this. No, it doesn't.
Clear as day.
There's 3 humps, a straight line, and then one line that goes straight up, and then nothing.
And
what is that?
This is a drawing of a stick figure family. Yeah. You don't understand it? No, nobody does. See, that's the problem. All of these, and a lawyer, how can you trust anything a lawyer says?
Whoa, all right.
They make up all the stuff. Like, they're like, no, there's a loophole in the law for that, and it's, let me quote the line, and nobody looks it up. The lawyers say stuff in court all the time that everybody just kind of nods along to. Nobody checks it out, though. They say in Thomas Rivera's law book, volume 1, chapter 3, line 47, he argues, and everybody's like, oh yes, you're right. Thomas Rivera, I remember, I read him.
I think the opposing counsel sometimes tries to challenge. Like, that doesn't sound right. Objection!
And then the judge has to look like he knows what everybody's talking about.
The judge looks curiously at both of them and goes, sustained? Like, was that a question mark?
No, it was Latin.
Yeah. Excuse me, course of Stefan. Can you read that back to me?
Go ahead and try that out there.
Stenographer. Can you read that back to me?
Which is probably Latin, too, for
Yeah.
all I know.
Yeah.
Sounds like a made-up word that those
Sustained?
Latin people...
Your Honor, was that a question? No. Sustained. With an exclamation point. You know what? I would love to be a judge.
Yeah, why is that?
Power. I mean... not power. Hold on, that was the wrong answer.
Do it for the wrong thing.
That was the wrong answer. Yeah, power. No!
Every time you keep saying the same
Sorry,
thing.
it's like autocorrect on my phone.
Yeah, I'm pausing it, so we're not actually recording this, so you can just keep trying until you get it right. What are the prerequisites for being a judge?
Being a lawyer.
Do you have to be a lawyer to be a judge?
Yeah.
You can't just... It's not like being a sheriff, where you don't have to actually have been in law enforcement to be elected as sheriff.
Or a constable.
Oh, constable. We should bring back constables.
There are constables in the United States.
Where?
I know there's some down in Tennessee. I'm sure there's some in our state. It's just a lot of times it's in smaller towns.
The local constable.
Yes, constable. I would love
Latin.
No, it's English.
Oh, that's right.
Jeez. Know your heritage.
Is the constable, do they have the same powers as a sheriff? I feel like sheriff would be more powerful.
Yeah, I think the sheriff is more powerful.
If a constable and a sheriff arrive on the scene at the same time, who has jurisdiction? These are the questions that we need to answer for America.
Whoever's jurisdiction it is. And if it's both their jurisdictions, they both have power.
I've always wanted to be a sheriff.
We don't need you with a loaded gun. You know what? You can be sheriff if you're Barney Fife, and you keep one round in your top pocket.
I would do it. I just want the power.
Was that an autocorrect? Or
let me try it again. Sorry. I just want the power. Sorry. Okay, hold on. One more time here. You know what? Let's move on. But I have always wanted to be a sheriff because, again, you don't need a background in law enforcement. You just have to get elected.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And as we've learned in some of the past elections, it's pretty easy to get up to the top of any ticket. I'm a little young, though.
It doesn't matter. You can.
Well, we seem to favor the aged for these.
Oh, goodness. Look at all these old people. And he's running for president. He's 80. Let's put him on the ticket.
Yeah.
He's a winner. He's going to be 84. Put him on.
I think all the caucuses should just be held at retirement homes. No, not yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said carcasses.
Caucuses.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think they should just all be held at retirement homes. We just pull people out of the crowd there.
You, sir, how old are you? Come up here, young whippersnapper.
How bad did you say the Alzheimer's was?
You want to be president? No. Good. You're going to be president.
You're our guy.
Throw a couple billion at him. Let's go.
Yes.
Yeah, see, in your case, you just have to pretend like you know what you're doing. Look like you are somewhat physically active. Oh, actually, you don't even need that.
I don't think so. No, I've seen some sheriffs.
Yeah, I think that if you, like, skipped once, people would be like, "Whoa, look at he's a physical specimen.
He is spry."
Yeah, he can leap some fences. Yeah. Or at least jump a rope.
Did he fall off a bike? No. Okay.
Yeah.
Peak of physical health.
Sheriff.
Yes.
I smell sheriff in your future. No.
I feel like to be sheriff, though, you do have to get kind of some cowboy gear. You have to get a hat, cowboy boots, wear some tight-fitting jeans.
Please don't.
It's already too late. I got them ordered. We're starting up the campaign for sheriff.
Got him on.
And sheriffs have pretty good power. Like they don't really. They're kind of independent of the governor of the state.
Yeah, they kind of are. Which is crazy, but yeah, I mean, you definitely, a sheriff would be. I think of all of law enforcement, a sheriff would be fun. Either that or like a Texas Ranger, because I feel like Texas Ranger. It's like, I'm a Texas Ranger. Okay, don't mess with him.
Yeah. When you're in Texas, look behind you, because that's where the Ranger's going to be.
I didn't mean that because of Chuck Norris.
I feel like he is the poster boy of the Texas Rangers, whether they like it or not.
Yeah, he's like, I think there's a poster of him in every Texas Ranger office.
He is the honorary head of the Texas Rangers.
Yeah. Did you know that sorry, I don't want to get too far off track, but did you know that they came out with another Texas Ranger show?
A TV show, yeah. They what would they call that? Revamp, yeah.
It's with Jared something from Supernatural. Have you ever seen Supernatural?
No.
Okay.
But I know who you're talking about, Jared.
Oh, I forgot.
Padalecki.
Yes, thank you. Yep.
I think.
I watched the first season. I didn't mind it, but it definitely, Chuck Norris would not give it the thumbs up.
Like oh, really? Why?
In Dodgeball. Because, thank you, Chuck Norris. Because they had to sprinkle in a little bit of the agenda, if you will. Yeah, so I think
they moved it from Texas to the California Rangers.
Yeah. No. It was just, I think.
No, we cannot clear this underbrush to prevent forest fires. We have to keep it.
You guys are killing plants.
They have feelings.
But no, is I think in the show, like I said, I only really watched the first season. Maybe I started a couple episodes of the second, but I think his brother.
How many seasons do they have?
Oh, jeez. Now you're putting me on the spot. I don't know.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I thought you knew. I thought you had some information ready. My apologies.
No. Are you kidding me?
I forgot what show I was on for a brief moment.
Yeah. This isn't what you think it is.
No, that's for sure. That's actually our top review. Actually, this isn't what you think it is.
Yeah.
So is Jared Padalecki in the is he the Walker Texas Ranger?
Yes, he is.
I see. There were some. I remember my grandparents used to watch the old Chuck Norris Texas Ranger.
Oh, yeah.
There were some episodes that I remember as a child, and they scarred me.
Really?
Yeah, there was this one where there was like this mangled guy from like a mountain man type thing, and Walker kicked his butt, of course.
Oh, sure.
But his face was like burned and stuff. It was very. I always thought he was gonna come out from under my bed and attack me when I was a child.
Yikes!
I had a tough time sleeping after that episode.
I would.
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely. I wouldn't recommend it.
I would. So actually, the new one is just called Walker.
Oh, so he's okay. Is this before he's a Texas Ranger? Is it an origin
No, he's
story?
still a Texas Ranger.
Okay.
But it looks like it has 4 seasons.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but anyways, so just the first season, you find out like Jared's brother is running for mayor, but I think he's also gay. So you have to add that in. Just like in Arrow, the mayor's gay, and
I've never seen Arrow.
And Flash, somebody else is a pan. It's just like, okay, whatever. Like, thank you for sprinkling that in. I don't need my kid who likes superheroes and cops and robbers to whatever. Like, sweet, dude. Sweet.
We just went over, don't let your child watch Walker. It will scar them.
Well, no, you said Texas Ranger. Walker, Texas Ranger.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. I don't know about Walker.
So I let my kid watch Psych. Okay,
that's just good parenting.
Yeah. I would
teach your kid how to lie. That's great. Good parenting. Nice work.
No, I just want him to take away like be hyper observant.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and then lie to people.
And then use that information to deceive people.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. That's
like,
pretty simple parenting.
Yeah. Can you please heighten your sense of awareness so that we can make some money?
Yes.
Hasn't worked on any of them.
Now
yet.
you're, oh, really? Oh, yeah, nobody's really picked up on that.
Yeah, no one. And I'm like, come on. You've seen all the seasons. You should. So I think I might turn to The Mentalist next. But
basically the same thing.
Almost
a carbon copy.
Almost. But one's funny and one's not.
I have never seen The Mentalist, and I've had really no desire to either.
Oh. I actually started watching The Mentalist because of Psych.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Worth it? Was it worth your time?
It drags on. I'm like, let's get to this point. But it is what it is. I mean, writers have to write a show, right? You want to keep your job unless you want to go on strike. But if you want to keep your job, you keep writing,
pumping out those TV series.
Yeah, I don't get why writers go on strike. Like, I'm only getting paid $100,000 a year to write. Yeah, you get to sit at home and write.
I actually don't. I think with writers it's a little different because I don't actually think they make $100,000 a year. I think they actually pretty much get screwed over by by the big studios.
Well, then I stand. Really, I really want to. Now I really want to know how much.
This podcast is brought to you by Universal Studios, NBC, CBS, ABC, Disney,
and we're not writers, so we're not.
Oh goodness, no! As you can tell, we don't do any writing for this podcast.
Actually,
none whatsoever.
Keep talking.
What are you looking up?
I'm looking up how much Hollywood writers make.
Okay, that's fair. I'd be curious myself. I don't think it's what you think it is. Writers, yeah, I don't know. What do even authors get paid?
Well, that depends on the author and the book and the subject, I think.
Okay. Jessica Fletcher from the great Murder, She Wrote, seemed to get paid quite a bit, actually, for her books. She could travel around it. She was a minor celebrity.
Yeah. But see, that's
a lot of murder followed her. Nobody really checked into that. I just want to say that. Just want to throw that out there. Seems like she's in different cities.
Did murder follow her, or did she follow murder?
She was always in town before the murder happened. Well, not always, I guess.
I feel like that's a conspiracy.
I'm just saying. Nobody's looked into it.
Has no one looked into that?
I don't think so. I think they all just kind of gave her a free pass because she's a celebrity. Okay, that's how celebrities get away with murder.
All right. Whoa.
What's that?
So a screenwriter salary. It says, number 1, screenwriter salary stories. Shane Black got nearly $2 million for his script for The Last Boy Scout in 1990.
Yeah, but that's not a lot.
No. But he had previously sold his script for Lethal Weapon for only $250,000.
Oh, see?
In 84.
See?
Yeah. You should probably double that because inflation.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
The person that wrote Basic Instinct sold theirs for $4 million with $1 million of that going towards the producers. So this doesn't really tell me really like an annual salary of a writer. Of course, I'm sure one of our listeners will chime in and go, writers really don't make that much. They only live off of six figures.
Hey, listen here, okay?
Yeah.
So you make $4 million. That only can get you so much cocaine before you have to have another movie. Like, it's not going to last you very long.
It's very true.
I'm
very true.
Throwing that out there.
You know what? I didn't even think about expenses.
Yeah, you did not take that into consideration.
And they all live in California, so like that's low income. Right
1
there.
Month's rent.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? I stand corrected. They make peanuts.
Absolutely.
I'm glad they went on strike.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's no other states that you could live in and write in. What?
No, it's actually a lot of states have anti-writing laws.
I heard that a lot of states actually have anti-book laws too.
That is very true.
Want to ban books,
book burning.
There's book burnings going on. It's really like the 1930s Germany.
We've gone back to the time period you like.
What?
I don't know. You always talk about living back in the past.
I don't think 1930s is really my era.
Oh, sorry.
Dude, 1920s though.
The roaring 20s.
20s,
yeah, that's the time to be in.
Dude, give me Calvin Coolidge as president
Actually,
all day long.
We're 100 years removed from the roaring 20s.
Yeah.
We're in our own roaring 20s.
Well, let's not get carried away.
No Calvin Coolidge in sight though.
No.
He's not around.
Are you kidding me? Calvin Coolidge. Dude, if Calvin Coolidge ran today for president, he would be laughed off the ticket.
First off, he'd be from Vermont, which is quite surprising for a Republican.
Not only that, but like he slashed the federal spending by 50%. Are you kidding me right now? He made federal employees use a single pencil. Our president nowadays, when they sign a stupid document, use 50 pens.
That is true. You're not wrong there.
Like, are you kidding me right now? Are you guys really that stupid? How much ink are in those pens? You should invest in Bics.
And I think actually the most surprising thing about Coolidge, only chose to run one time.
Yeah.
He got in. He was vice president, and when the president died, he became the president. Ran for a formal election. Became president. Served one term. Out of office. Yeah. He chose not to run again. He chose not. He could, if he were alive today, he could run for president again.
Yeah. It was like he got in the office. Was like, this was a mistake.
I don't want to do this again.
I did hear that, or I'm sorry, not hear, but I did read that there is an antidote, that he was a man of very few words.
Anecdote?
Antidote, yes. Pedestal. Oh, sorry.
Latin.
That was Latin. It was. But he was a man of very few words, and one of the cabinet members' secretaries said that she made a bet with the cabinet member that she could make him say more than 3 words in the cabinet meeting. And he looked at her, and he looks back. He pauses, and he looked back at her. And this is at the beginning of the meeting. And he just said, "You lose." And that's all he said for the entire meeting. Dude didn't speak.
We
really need
more of that, actually.
Yeah, we need a president that doesn't speak.
Seems wise.
Yeah.
Seems a little too wise. What was he hiding? That's where we'd be at today.
What was he hiding?
What's he hiding?
Common sense,
Yeah.
really.
We are at the end of this episode. Yeah, that went fast.
Can we, just real quick before we wrap up, was there any polls or anything that we did?
No.
No. Okay. No.
We didn't do
fan
any
mail?
polls for Nope, nothing this week.
Man, we need some fan mail. I want to hear from you guys. I want to interact with you. Let's reach out and touch each other. Nope, stay in touch.
Get in trouble for that one.
Are we? Okay. Well, okay. Well, you know what? This is the second episode for this week, so you won't hear from us for a couple of days. So we hope that you have a great weekend. But while you have some time off, make sure you drop us a line. And you can do that at several different places. You could email us, menacingpodcast@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook, Menacing Podcast. Or X, formerly known as Twitter, @menacingpodcast. Drop us a line. Let's get something going. We'll start some. This is like the new eHarmony. We'll get you connected.
This took a turn.
Well, maybe. We're not the new eHarmony.
You just keep going, huh?
Yeah. We're just
doubling down on the whole eHarmony.
Yeah. No, we're not eHarmony.
Oh, you're not doubling
No,
down. Oh, I
no,
see.
no,
You're backing
no.
off.
Yeah, we're not. I'm not gonna hook up anybody with anybody. Like that's.
Not sure why we were even talking about that.
I don't know. I just said let's connect.
We're CalvinCoolidgeDate.com. That's just
Few words. And half off.